The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our Immune Support Infusion Blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
That's right. We're liberals here, like Thomas Jefferson. I don't accept the mainline liberal establishment or the mainline conservative establishment. I judge each issue on its own and geopolitically study it or domestically look at it and then try to say what is the most honorable, balanced way to address this and to focus on it. Most people just choose their political ideas according to what they think is fashionable, what they think is cool. Most people, as you know, are not informed about the world, especially Americans. Either Americans are extremely informed or they're very uninformed. National statistics show the most uninformed in the world, other than like Afghanis, who can't even find the U.S. on a map in most cases. The equivalent of cavemen. I'm not knocking them, but a lot of those folks have never, even really watched television in the rural areas, so you can't blame them. Most Americans don't have passports. They just think this is the earth. And it's very, very frustrating because clearly Russia just saw 90% of Ukraine grabbed. They only took an area that used to be part of Russia. The media spins it that they've invaded and stolen something. And clearly the West with the EU just gobbled the country up and overthrew an elected government and is trying to start a new Cold War. Now, that's what Ron Paul agrees with. That's what George Galloway's saying. Not because we all get together on the phone and decide what we believe. We are informed. It's fun to be informed about the world, the regions, the players. That's my soap opera. Not football, not sitcoms, not, you know, that's that. When I'm home at night or got my friends over, we're sitting around, we talk about stuff like this because it's interesting to us to learn more. And I'm not saying I'm even that smart. It's very frustrating to know the facts and to know it's not your opinion, and then to just see the cheap political porn that's out there that the controlled left and controlled right spew out. Is very frustrating. We'll get George Galloway's take on that. Talk about Ken Lay, who clearly, the evidence is amazing. People that go down there get harassed, by the way, has been sent down to South America. We're going to talk about that, another film he's working on, and where he thinks the future is going with George Galloway. And then when he leaves us, a little bit of overdrive and take your phone calls. He leaves us at 50 after. Briefly, remember, this hour is brought to you by InfoWarsStore.com with the pro-liberty T-shirts and the great political films across the political spectrum and the very best books to become informed and the very best supplements like the True Nascent Iodine and the Fluoride Detox and the great Wake Up America coffee and the Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver, double strength. The Pro Pure water filtration systems are the best gravity-fed systems out there to purify your family's water because of all the Monsanto glyphosates in the water. It's all available at InfoWarsStore.com. And what also makes this show possible is folks like MyPatriotSupply.com with the highest quality non-GMO storable foods as we go into this global depression. Last 25 years, it's great to just have in the attic, forget about it in the basement. Super high quality. MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex to find their specials, or 866-229-0927, MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. And it is the sponsors and this show and your support that allows us to have a wide spectrum debate and introduce you to all sorts of political ideas and angles and analysis that's unconventional, unorthodox, and basically Renaissance-based. Now, George Galloway, I've been ranting here. I want to give you the floor. Tell us about the film. You're a serious guy. Basically, everything you said about Iraq came true, more than anybody, even more than Ron Paul or myself. What you said came true like it was, you know, prophetic. So you're a serious guy. If you think Ken Lay is really still alive, we're investigating it. I think he is. The evidence is there. Tell us about your film, your crowdsourcing, and then let's move forward to the big picture, what else is happening in the world and where you see us going.
Thank you, Alex. There's no evidence that he's dead. And all the circumstantial evidence is that he's still alive. And he cheated the American justice system and allowed his family to remain in control and ownership of his millions, his estates, and so on, by mysteriously dying of a heart attack in Colorado just 3 days before being sentenced for then one of the biggest frauds in corporate history. It prefigured the crash of 2008, and indeed Kenneth Lay prefigures the kind of villains that walked across the stage during the crash of 2008. Kenneth Lay was George W. Bush. He was the sponsor, primary sponsor of the political class, not just in the Republican Party, but in the Democratic Party too. And when Bush flew down to Florida to fight the recount, which made him president in the first place, he flew down in an Enron jet covered in Enron insignia. And then quickly Enron collapsed, billions of dollars were lost. He was convicted of a massive fraud 3 days before sentencing, and thus his family able to retain his millions. He was given permission to go to Colorado, where he died in the night of a heart attack and then was promptly cremated. And nobody from the federal government, nobody from the FBI, nobody from the Justice Department actually saw his dead body before it was supposedly burned. And at his funeral, the entire American political class turned out to pay their respects to a man who had just been convicted of a gigantic super fraud of billions of dollars. Both the Bushes were there, but President Clinton was also there. President Carter was also there. What were they even doing at the funeral of a convicted criminal in this way? And of course, he went up in smoke. Or did he? Because conveniently at the same time, 100,000-acre ranch. Now, I know you're in Texas and everything's bigger in Texas. But for me, the idea that Bush owns a 100,000-acre ranch, that he bought it right next door to the American military base, and that you risk being shot for looking over the fence to see if you can spot Kenneth Lay, is all deeply suspicious. So I'm going to go to Paraguay. I'm going to insist on looking over
That's
that
a great
fence.
movie idea that you and Max Kaiser have. That is...
Max came up with the idea, and him and I are working on it now, and we're seeking crowdfunding for it on Max's crowdfunding platform, which is called Start Join. And the movie's called Where's Kenny Boy? Because that was George W. Bush's famous cry. Whenever he needed anything, especially the green folding stuff, it was a case of, where's Kenny Boy? Well, I'm asking, where's Kenny Boy? And I'm an elected British Member of Parliament, 27 years elected to the Parliament, 6 times elected. Let's see if they shoot me walking up the drive of the 100,000-acre ranch. Kenneth Lay, if you're out there, I'm coming to get you.
Well, when you look at everything you just said, it's all on record, and they routinely stage military personnel's death to give them new personalities. We've studied Enron. It was a giant multi-hundred-billion-dollar front that they were putting money in the Cayman Islands, the Bahamas, Switzerland. They would, on a single week, make $1 billion extra lying and claiming there was no electricity and triple and quadruple charging people. You know, power bills would go from $1,000 to $6,000 in a month in California and surrounding states. He was a master criminal. And the fact is that they were protecting him, and undoubtedly, it's been reported he keeps getting seen down there and only uses that as a home base. And and you going down there, because you've got the courage to do it, will become a sensational film regardless. They've got to be concerned.
I hope so. And just to add to the masterful summary you just gave there of Lay's role in things and Enron's role in things, he took care to spread money around the political class to make sure that he would not have any difficulties on either side of the aisle, whoever was in control of the American political system. And that's the very corporate takeover of politics that on both sides of the Atlantic we've been suffering from so grievously in the last decades.
Well, that's right, because when they take the money, they then also get basically corrupted into it. And that's right. He came up with the carbon tax plan with Al Gore. You can say what you want about climate change or this and that, but clearly paying the political class carbon money is what has basically tainted the whole thing. And Ken Lay came up with smart meters to gouge people. I mean, so many things that we now see today were the brainchild of Ken Lay. Why do you think if he had... Yeah.
He was a very bad man, but we're not just going after him because he was a very bad man. It's because he exemplifies, personifies, literally personifies, this corrupt political corporate class that has ruined the lives of so many tens of millions on both sides of the Atlantic. And by telling his story, by going looking for him, we're also going looking for the corrupt politicians that he bought and paid for, and who undoubtedly protected him and may even have faked his death.
Of course they did. Let's shift gears over into, if you're going to steal $1 million, why not steal $1 trillion? If you're going to lie a little and launch a whole war that kills 1 million people, according to Lancet, why not stage the death of one guy? Of course they did. The evidence is overwhelming. But let's get back into the other film you guys are crowdsourcing, and Kaiser better make these, because I know he's got the money to make them anyways. The point is people should support it, because I want to see these films, especially with you in them. What about Tony Blair? I mean, he clearly, with the Downing Street memo, the White House memo, well, you're the expert on it. I mean, we've got the evidence he's a war criminal. And if we can punish one of these criminals, even in the court of public opinion, it will stop them doing it next time.
Well, Alex, in the court of public opinion, Tony Blair is already tried and convicted. He's like that character in the movie Ghostwriter. He spends most of his time out of Britain. because he can't walk down any street in Britain. Every time he sits down in a restaurant